Hi, welcome to your Heritage Makers Studio demonstration. Studio is a wonderful online program that's really designed to help you preserve your photos and your memories in a way that you will be proud to share. It was specifically designed for this purpose, and it includes some really powerful features that make it like a simpler version of Photoshop. When you combine the power of Studio and the incredible variety of the pre-designed templates that I'll show you and art collections that are available in Heritage Makers, I think you'll be really amazed at the projects you can create. Let's go ahead and get started. When you make your first purchase from your consultant, you will actually have your own account. When you log in and get going with your password, the page you see on the screen is your Studio account, the main page that you will be working from. I want to show you just a few navigational features. Pretty basic. I won't go into a lot of detail today, but just keep it really basic and show you some of the really great features we have. If you go right down here to the online classes, the company has free classes that are offered several times a week for anybody who wants to do beginning webinars or studio intermediate ones or even advanced inspirational classes. These are free to consultants and clients. You can do as many as you want. And I have to tell you that every time I go on and use a studio and do the classes, I learn some pretty neat things that I can do in my own projects. If you're a busy person and you don't have time to be on one of these classes that you register for by clicking on the class schedule, then they have archived classes right here that have a plethora, all kinds of stuff that you can do. Different themed inspirational classes and a lot of variety that you can go and check out on your free time. So we're going to go back to our main studio page, and I wanted to point out studio tutorials right here. If you want to go click on this, you need a little bit of help learning how to do a template or knowing how to upload photos. Any type of little help that you need, we have tutorials that are recorded here for you to just click on and watch. Super helpful. Plus, you always have your consultant there to help you and get you started if you have any other questions. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go to my photos up here on the top, and I want to show you how to upload your photos. Now, when you go in to your album, you will not have any photos loaded here. You're going to hit New Album, and I simply want to type it maybe Vacation 2010. Whatever you guys want to name your photo, type it and create it. Now you're going to go into your albums, and I have actually a lot of photos you can see that I've stored. With Heritage Makers, I have unlimited photo storage. That's been really a blessing for me because I know my photos are always safe and that they're always going to be stored there. And you probably are like myself. You want to keep your photos stored because they're your life, they're your family, and you don't want to have any opportunity to happen where you might lose those photos. Now that I've created my album, I'm just going to click on that album, and I'm going to go up to add more photos. I'm going to go, everybody's computer is going to be a little bit different depending on where you have your photos stored on your computer. I'm going to go open that file, and I'm actually going to select, I can select all of them, or I'm just going to select a few of my photos that I want to use, and I'm going to upload them. I'm going to hit open, and as you see on the right side of my screen, they're loading into your Heritage Makers photo albums, and they will pop up on the screen when they're loaded. You can load one at a time. You can load, 100, 200, however many you want to load. I also have the capability while those are loading to show you the shared album concept. How many of you guys have gone on a family vacation with, your sister and your family or friends, and they take these amazing photos, and you would really like to have a copy of them? And they can simply go into their Heritage Makers account, click on the album they've uploaded, and hit the share button and send it to your Heritage Makers account. Completely super easy to do, and you're going to really be grateful that you have that share option. Here's my photos that I've uploaded. That's as simple as that. Just go and upload your photos, create your albums, and you guys will be able to create amazing projects. Now I'm going to go ahead and get started with a new project. I can click the New Project button, and with Heritage Makers, you have the opportunity to design your own project from scratch or to use one of our very amazing templates, which I personally love to use. I'm going to show you both options. We're going to go ahead and start with a blank project. it breaks it down into the types of projects we have to offer. I'm going to go into a storybook, and I'm going to select the 8x8 storybook. And again, I just need to name this. Maybe it's my vacation book, and I'm going to hit continue. This allows you to be working on a variety of projects at one time, and by naming them, you know which project you want to go and work on at any given time. So I'm going to start with my vacation book. Now I have my blank style book open in my studio screen. I'm going to go ahead and navigate you through this screen. Super easy and simple. On the right hand side down, you'll see the pages listed. I have page 1 highlighted, page 2, page 4. Whichever page is highlighted is the page I'll be working on. Now I'm going to go down here to the bottom and click on this little bar, and it's going to bring up my tabs that allow me to go in and create my book. My toolbar or my toolbox can just easily be dragged around the screen with your mouse or closed to allow you more room to operate. Now, I went through my photo tab. I'm also going to go through the text boxes, the art collection, and the quote collection. Right now, I'm going to go to my albums. And as we uploaded the vacation photos, I'm going to go down to my vacation album and open those photos. And then I simply can drag and drop with my mouse onto the page the photos that I want to use in this project. Unlike other photo book companies, Heritage Makers has a great opportunity for you to be 100% creative, 100% flexible in what you put on your pages. I don't have necessarily any kind of limit. I'm not stuck with 3 photos on one page, 2 on another. It's complete flexibility and creativity on your part. So I'm going to put just as many photos as I want on this page. I'm going to open my toolbox, and I want you to see the little crop box. Allows me to drag my crop box and kind of customize it based on what's in my photo. I can drag the edges up or create it the way I want, and then just hit done. So I'm going to quickly crop my photos, and that one's pretty good, so I'm just going to leave that. And I just drag them and move them out of the way. Edit them just a little bit, pull that in, and I'm going to hit done. Now this only crops your photos that are on this page. It does not crop your photos that you've stored in your photo albums. Now to simply make them bigger or smaller, I just drag the edges with my mouse, and I can change the size that I want on my page. I want you to notice that there's a green rubber band around the photos. That will tell you that it's great printing quality. A yellow band will tell you it's good printing quality, and a red band will tell you that it probably needs to be a little bit smaller or higher DPI, which is really easy to do. Most digital photos don't have any problem with that. And I want to point out that you will see some of the photos may look a little pixelated, like my hair in this picture. That is not due to the quality of the program. The program is actually done in low resolution so that it can be quicker when you're loading and creating your project, so we don't have to have all the patience. This is a really quick program, so no need to worry about the pixelation. It's just fine, and the preview is on a low resolution, so you guys are doing just great. As long as there's a green band around that photo, you are doing great. So there's my 3 photos. Now I kind of want to show you how to kind of arrange and layer your photos. So I've got my pictures right now kind of in the very back, in the very middle, and in the very front. On the bottom of your toolbox, you will see 4 buttons that will send it to the back, or backwards 1 layer at a time, forwards 1 layer at a time, or all the way to the front 1 layer at a time. And this is how you can go in and customize your layouts. I'm going to take this front picture of the 3 kids, and I'm going to send it to the back. So now that is all the way to the back. If I want to send it all the way to the front, I hit all the way to the front. If I want to send it back 1 layer at a time, I just hit back 1 layer. So it allows you to maneuver your pages easier and make them more customizable. So I now want to show you some of the tools for editing. If you go to the Effects tab in your toolbox, I'm going to work on this picture right here that's got the green rubber band. Watch the corners. I'm going to round the corners, which we all love that feature. And then if I go all the way over, it will turn into an oval. Similarly, if I cropped this in a square and I wanted to round the corners, I could make that go into more of a circle. Pretty awesome feature. I'm going to add a border, and I'm going to make it really thick so you guys can see the contrast there. And then if I want to go change that color, maybe I don't want the border to be black. If I go to my little border box, you see my eyedropper tool. I can match it to one of these colors in the color dropper, or I can take my eyedropper and match it to the little girl's bow, just like that. It can match it to any papers or embellishments you might put on that page. I'm going to go and turn this photo to black and white, to sepia, and then I can go change it back to the normal color. I'm also going to add a drop shadow. Now, this is perhaps one of my most favorite features. I can change the angle, and I can change the intensity to whatever degree you want it to be, and then it stays with the photo. You can also add drop shadows to your embellishments, to your papers, to your journaling if you want to do so. Really, really fun. I'm going to now show you one of my favorite tools. I think it looks very elegant. I'm actually going to make this photo my background paper, and I'm going to drag it big. And I'm going to go and change it to a black and white. And then I'm going to go up to this transparency button. Hopefully everyone knows what a piece of vellum is, but if not, it looks like this. It's more of a transparency, if you will. So you can drag it to the type of transparency you want, and that can be your background paper, if you so choose. Then I can drag other elements onto my page, other photos, add a border, go down to my little bar, and I'm going to go to my quotes. My quote library is segregated into different topics and themes. We have over 3,000 quotes in there. I'm going to go to the family section, and I'm going to grab a quote. We'll do this: a family that plays together stays together. I'm going to drag that up. And now I want you to notice that when I go to my journaling or my text boxes, my toolbox now goes to my fonts and all the tools and effects I can do with my journaling. I'm going to make this bigger by just clicking on the size bar. You can also type a number in there if you want to. And I'm going to go ahead and center that. And I can move this box wherever I want it to go. I'm going to go up to my font. Now you'll notice I want to show you how many fonts we do have in here. If I go put my cursor on the font, it will give me the style. And I'm going to choose typewriter. And then I'm going to actually go in and maybe change the color. Change the color of your font. Maybe I want it to be the green from the trees. And this is something I really like. I can change the line spacing, or I can change the letter spacing too. And let's say that's done. I think that's pretty cool. One thing that is really elegant with these are like wedding books and different types of ideas you can do with the transparency. Makes it look pretty elegant. I'm going to delete the journaling off, and I'm going to show you I'm going to bring up some art. But I need to go in and remove the transparency off my photo, and I'm going to turn it back to normal color. Now, we're going to go down and drag up the art, which is the fun part of Studio. Here's our art tab. Now we have two types of art tabs. All of the tools and editing that you can do is the same, just the amount of art you have access to. What you see on the screen right now is called our basic art. There's about 3,000 pieces of art, and they're in collections. So each of these are a piece of paper, color of paper, background, matching art, embellishments that go with it, calendars. We have some pretty good art in this collection, but there's only about 3,000 pieces of art. You guys are welcome to use that for free. You pay for your project, go in and create your project in Basic and publish. Most of my clients, including myself, love Premiere. Premiere has over 50,000 pieces of art in it, and they add new collections every month. Typically, the new collections are highlighted in yellow, and I gotta tell you, this is really addicting. 50,000 pieces of art. And Premiere is typically $19.95 a month to use, but I'm gonna show you how you can get it free at the end of this demonstration. So if you want to go ahead and just click on it, you can see the different art styles you have. Really, the sky is the limit. I might go in and do the cherry blossom collection, and I'm going to say open. On the top line, you're going to see all the embellishments that match that collection. And there's a lot of cute embellishments in this one. Alphabet styles that match that collection, as well as background pages that match that collection. All I'm going to do is simply drag the paper and embellishments up into my screen that I want to use. And you can keep coming and adding more, taking away, whatever you want to do. I think I am going to drag that frame up, maybe drag this flower blossom up. You just go and drag what you want to use up into the page and custom design it. That's the beauty of this system. And I think I'm going to close this down now and try to design some of my pages so you get an idea of how it all works. First off, I want you to notice the clear edge around the paper, the opaque and the clear. You don't want anything hanging off into the opaque section that's not going to be cut off. This is where the publisher is going to cut your pages to bind them in a book. So for instance, I'm not going to want my photo hanging off that much because it's going to be cut in half. If anything like your paper is hanging off on the edges, that's totally fine. In fact, you kind of want that to happen so that you can know that you don't have a white edge around your border. And I'm going to drag this pink paper just a third. I'm only going to do a third of that. Now you'll notice that all my photos are behind my papers. Not a big deal because I am going to send the papers to the very back, and now my photos are on the front. And then I just kind of arrange them. I want to point out that there's a blue circle on the tops of the photos or on the tops of your embellishments. This allows you to rotate your pictures or really anything that you want. Go ahead and rotate it. And just kind of layer your photos the way you want them. I think I'm going to put the frame around this family photo. So I'm going to drag my frame over. I'm going to rotate it. And if I hold, I can make my little frame the size of my photo, and I rotated it. And then I'm going to drag my paper, my flowers down here, and I'm going to add a drop shadow to my flowers. See how that makes it pop? I love that. This flower I'm going to put up here and just have that drop shadow. I have these cute flowers that match the collections that I might put right there. I might put down here so that it doesn't block my picture. Then I've got a cute butterfly. I'm going to rotate that butterfly. Like that. Maybe put right there. I'm going to go cut and paste another butterfly of the same size. Maybe make it a little bit smaller. And I'm going to do one more. And then I am going to go up to this photo and get rid of that red border. It doesn't match my backgrounds. I'm going to go to the red box and I'm going to maybe match it to, it would look good with white. I think I'm going to just match it to the white flower, or I can go to the white in my color box. Now, I always do drop shadows on everything. I just think it adds a lot more 3D, which is what we all kind of want in our storybooking or our albums. We just like the look of that. Now, I'm going to go down and drag up an alphabet piece, and I'm going to look for F. I'm just going to type in family. So I'm going to drag my F up. of course, I got to put that right there, do a drop shadow. And then I'm going to go drag up my text box, drag up my title, and this is where I can type anything I want. I'm going to customize, a paragraph or a sentence, whatever I want to type in here, my journaling. And I'm going to go over to my tools again, and now I'm on my journaling tools, and I'm going to type my family there. And I can match that to the white. I can leave it black. I'm going to change the font. And I think I might change the color to a light pink. Then I'm going to save it. You're going to notice it over here on page 4. The whole page is an icon there. Now, right above the pages, I have a page manager button. We're going to pretend the book is done. You're going to pretend there's pages are all done. If you go in and you decide, I would rather have page 4 where page 6 is at. If you drag page 4 over, you're going to notice that page 4 swaps with page 6. And then if you also create a page that has beautiful, backgrounds and you hand customized and designed it, and you want to put it somewhere else in the book, you don't have to design that from scratch. You just go up here and duplicate your page and then drag it to the page that you want it on. When you're done, you just hit done. It saves your changes, and you can play around with your pages and move them where you want in the book. Now, I'm the first to tell you that I am not a designer, as you can probably clearly see on my page, but I don't need to be a designer to use Heritage Makers. I absolutely love the templates. I want to show you the template gallery. Now, this project is going to be saved in my current projects that I'm working on. If you go into the template gallery with Heritage Makers, we have amazing templates. We have almost 5,000 templates right now, and there's several added every week. Several themes, different types of projects, something for everyone. I can go search by basic art or premier art. I can search by the date it was added or popular projects. I can search by the size. Maybe I want to go in and do a canvas, or maybe I want to go and search by a category, or I can type in a keyword. And I have to tell you that I love the template gallery because I don't have to be a designer to do this, but yet my projects turn out awesome. And I can take credit for it if I want to. So I'm going to go in and look at the 7x5 books. And I actually like this one, A Bit of Advice for a Daughter. So I'm going to actually click on it and just say, get this template. It's going to take it from the main template gallery and put it in my own projects and my own personal templates. And I have so many in my account that we're going to go search by 7x5 books. Now, here it is in my account, and I'm just going to say start my own. Really easy. Now we are back in our studio account, and on the right-hand side, you will see, instead of blank pages, you will see the pages of the template that's already been completely designed for your use. But the awesome thing about templates is that we can go in and make them our own. We can customize the pages, the paper, the art, the photos in very, very quickly. I would say that most of our clients love to use the templates for this reason. We're going to go to page 2, and here is the template on page 2. Now, I am going to obviously want to put my own photos in here. So I'm going to go to my albums. I'm going to open up one of my albums that has my daughter in it. And I'm going to click on the template, and you will notice a pink border that says drop photo here. All I simply have to do is drag my photo in and drop it. Click on the second one, drag my photo in and drop it. Click on the third one, drag my photo in and drop it. Super fast and super easy. Now, once in a while, my photos upload sideways, and maybe you have that same situation. No worries. I can simply go over to the Adjust button and rotate that photo, customize it the way I want it. I might want to scale her, just be a little bit closer in, move her face in more into that square, and then just hit done. And it's completed. Super easy, and customizable. Now, if you want to go in and change your, obviously, writing and your journaling, you will notice that everything on that page has a pink border. In a template, it's all locked into one layer. If you want to unlock this journaling to type your own, you just hit the unlock button in your toolbox. And then you simply go up and you can delete it, drag up your own journaling box, and type in whatever you want. Now I can keep typing, but for time's sake I'm not going to type a bunch of stuff in here. But you're going to get the idea, and I can just, again, center it. You remember that we can change the font, and I can go change the coloring, I can change the size, whatever I want to do. Let's say I don't want that butterfly there. If I go down to my art collection, now remember, Premiere is absolutely amazing. It has over 50,000 pieces of art. But if you don't want to search all of that, like make it simpler and easier, maybe I want a white flower. I'm just going to type in my search box for a white flower. I'm going to get embellishments that are white flowers, paper that's white flowers, alphabets that's got white flowers in it. A lot of variety. And I'm just going to drag it and drop it up in here. And I'm going to delete that off really quick. You can choose to swap it out or delete it. I'm going to delete the butterfly. Just drag that flower in. And if I want to make it smaller or bigger, you guys, you can alter it. Drop shadow. Now, amazing. Maybe I want to go in and change the paper. Maybe I don't like the blue. Maybe it doesn't match the purple in her bow. I'm going to go ahead and search for purple paper. This is so fun. It can be your new hobby. It's so easy to design now with Heritage Makers in the studio system. I can go down. I have 237 pieces of purple paper. Wow. I am going to just click on my paper, and as I drag it up, you will notice that my drop art here to swap appears, and I just simply drop it and it swaps out my paper with the one I chose. Now I'm going to go up to my journaling, and I'm actually going to probably change that to white so it stands out a little bit more. And I'm going to say save. Then I can go to page 4 and again find a photo and swap it out, change my papers, change any embellishments I want to, and my photo is personalized just like that. There is absolutely nothing to it. Just keep going, saving your project as you go along, and you will see it saved over here. When you're finished, you've previewed it, you hit the publish button. It allows you to put it in your completed file and save it, put it in the cart, and order it. Now, I mentioned that Premiere and Basic are two different art tabs. That Basic is free, 3,000 pieces of art, and that Premiere has over 50,000 pieces of art in it. And that our Premiere is normally $19.95 a month, but you can get that absolutely free when you sign up with your consultant for Club HM. Your consultant will talk to you more about Club HM. I know you're going to love it as much as I do. Heritage Makers has such a great way for you to preserve those treasured stories and photos in books and products and canvases that your family's going to love. I know that it's my new hobby. I know that it's an addiction, but it's a good addiction, one that I can work on a few minutes a day or a couple of hours at night when my kids are in bed. Welcome to Heritage Makers.